to Rinoa Reviews. We are in day 3 of Mortal Kombat! Week. Oh my. Oh, the worst video game movie previewable as far as I know anyway. I don't really know that much of Alone in the Dark or Postal. Probably not much to know about that last one, though, all things considered. So here it is, the movie that took all the goodwill the prequel brought to video game-based movies and performed a brutality on it. It's Mortal Kombat Annihilation, aka the sequel bit that landed the fish. Movie does indeed continue where we last left off, although only Liu Kang and Kitana are shown because they're the only ones to keep their actors from the first movie. I think the guy who played Jason in Young Hercules is Johnny Cage in this. It's raining ninjas, hallelujah. Alright, so we got our baddies, Motaro, Ermac, Rain, Shiva, and the big bad himself, Shao Kahn, looking like he should be in WCW fighting Hogan as a member of the Dungeon of Doom. Sullivan, my son! Kitana's mother. She's alive. Yeah, somehow even though Liu Kang's win should have prevented this from happening, if you know the story of MK3, you know what's up. For those that don't, this probably doesn't follow it too much either. Doesn't really explain that much, but basically Khan has his priests resurrect his Queen Sindel on Earthrealm, and that forces the portals of Outworld and Earth to merge as a result, so that Khan basically takes over. In this movie, Shao claims, "The Earth was created in 6 days, so too shall it be destroyed." No longer the Highlander, our Raiden is Ajax from the Warriors? He hardly shoves a lightning bolt up Khan's ass and makes him a meat popsicle in this movie. Shao Kahn, to his credit, in this movie, does a really good, "You will never win." But it was on! Raiden knocks Shao back in. My God, is the green screen blatant here? Shao grabs Sonya and Johnny gets one shadow kick in, denied. Raiden's about to take Shao's generals away if he doesn't release Johnny. Khan calls his bluff and Raiden yields. Well, time to kill him off like MK3 did. Khan gloats and teleports he and his generals away, leaving his Raiden ninjas to pursue our heroes. Raiden explains much of the same plot and warns them not to go after Khan right away. Raiden also mentions Deuterealms merging to be another Outworld. He's starting to lose his powers. To the giant American gladiator cage spheres. Is that how it goes? It's been a while. That's literally what these are, though. I don't know what game it was called, but yeah, it's like roller cage balls or whatever these things are. Oh, that's exactly what these are. 2 at a time in each of these. Raiden takes Sonya to find Jax, thinking that alone she'll be vulnerable. She did get nabbed kind of back-to-back in both movies so far, so yeah, I might be right on the money on that one. Meanwhile, Liu and Kitana are to go to the Hopi Mesa to seek help from Nightwolf, as Raiden goes to speak with the Elder Gods to ask, "What happened?" Khan, out of his skull suit, looking just like a normal bald dude in his throne room, has a chat with his father, the latter of which is upset he let Raiden live. It's revealed it was the father who broke the rules for the portals to open and start the merge. He doesn't want the Elder Gods to know what's going on. Kitana and Liu make it out of the spheres and are in some place where they can just have a fight against some more of Khan's ninjas and cyber smoke. Kitana breaks out the fans. They look really cool. I'll give it that. Smoke about to fire a missile, which is more a Sector thing, but the ninja's all grayish-black color, and he does form from smoke curling underneath Liu and Kitana before the fight, so yeah. I think they just worked in the Sector missiles into smoke, because his chest thing's usually the Scorpion Spear, kind of. But anyway, before Smoke can fire a missile, Sub-Zero slides in, freezing him down. Lou kicks Smoke away before the missile goes off and he self-destructs. Wait a minute, didn't Sub-Zero die? Ah, this Sub-Zero has a scar on his face, so when Lou thinks that... Nope, that was his older brother. This Sub-Zero is here to help Kitana because he believes she's the key to stopping Khan, who've reprogrammed Smoke to go after them instead of him. He creates an ice bridge for them to cross. Time for another fight. 2 weird spear monster thingies emerge. Yep, you can't keep a hellspawn like Scorpion down. As that fight goes on, Scorp gets the upper hand and Sub-Zero is about to fall off the bridge. Lou leaps into action, saving him. Scorpion teleports and is suddenly behind Kitana. Suckers! And they vanish. Lou wants to go after her, but Sub basically says what Raiden says, that you're alone, you ain't ready. Well, no redemption arc for your older brother. That's it for Sub-Zero 2. Nothing to see here. Move along now. Sonya's made it to Jax, who is also not the same actor in the last movie, and he's got metal arms. Sonya thinks that's just him having a confidence problem. She quickly races to get him free from him being bound to a surgery table of sorts to probably graft these metal behemoths on him. She says, Death Squad's on the way. Jax is all like, wait, what? So yeah, Jax literally dragged into something he was asleep for most of this. My main Shao Kahn booting cyber ninja Cyrax shows up with more Death Squad goons to battle. Yeah, this movie is 80% fights, by the way. Instead of the green nets that I could spam on Shao Kahn in the games and just uppercut and deal with him that way, he would get a fireball out once in a while, but if I just kept up with the offense, more often than not, he wouldn't fire it. But yeah, instead of the green net, Cyrax has this weird CGI ball shooty thingy for his bombs and tinier weird CGI ball thingies to melt people to the bone. Now that's a cooler fatality than his hair wire thingy becomes a helicopter and just chop, 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 chop. Cyrax getting whooped on by Jax until he gets stuck. Somehow Jax's metal arm can shield Cyrax's melt particle thingy to no effect. Well, some damn good metal arms. In their fight, the place is about to blow. Sonya blows some dust or sand or something that conducts fire and burns Cyrax down. She spots a tiny dragon tattoo peel off of Cyrax's back shoulder and become a real tiny dragon for a few seconds and then poofs away. Cyrax does have his other fatality, the self-destruct, so that fight ends on a badly CGI jump away from the explosion trope. Oh, man. Back at Khan's, his generals are bickering until Khan himself appears. Rain reports that Cabal and Stryker are not appearing in this movie. Khan says, "Did you make them beg for their lives before destroying them?" Rain says no, and apparently this is enough for Khan to just bonk with a big hammer and send him to his death. The only time he uses said hammer, by the way. And it's to just kill off one of my other minions. Come on, I guess they couldn't work the spin kick where he sends you across the other side of the world. Why did he have that in those games? I don't know if he has it later on. I haven't played 9. I haven't played the later ones, the new timeline ones. He's in 9 and 11. So I don't know if he still has that or not, but I was all the rage to do I think it was spin kick and then try to catch him with the fireball. That could lift him up. I don't know if I ever pulled that off, or if it can be pulled off. That would be cheap as hell. Khan then asks among his other generals who will take Rain's place as his second. They all plead their cases while still bickering a bit, and then Shao's just like, alright, Queen Sindel it is. Yeah, new position to the new girl he's doing off the clock hanky-panky with. Yeah, Shao's that kind of boss, alright. Also delegating blame from his dad. Let's put that out there as well. Lou makes it solo to the Hopi Mesa and is attacked by a wolf. He pushed the wolf away, who turns into a man. Aw shit, he's an Animorph. Nope, this is Nightwolf. Pretty cool, huh? It's my animality. Oh, we just had to work that goofy shit from 3, didn't we? So yeah, this is Lou's third guilt trip on saying how not ready he is. He needs Lou to find courage so he can get an animality too. Lu's short on time, he says, so Nightwolf tosses an axe and knocks him out to put him on this dream quest to find this courage or whatever. Even his dreams are guilt-tripping him. Nightwolf tells him to face those fears as he's getting guilted by Kitana and Khan for letting Kitana get kidnapped 5-10 minutes ago. He wakes from the dream and now in the snow with hot, barely dressed girl? Huh? What's going on here? Macking on Lu immediately, but refuses her advances, so she strikes and then transforms into her battle green outfit with staff. Yeah, she introduced herself as Jade first scene. I'm like, alright, where's this going? So this movie at least has to be around the time of Ultimate MK3, since she made her playable debut in that. That would explain Rain and Ermac, too. Since the whole purpose of Ultimate MK3 was meeting the fan demands of, where the ninjas at? Lu's fight with Jade lasts for like seconds, and just pinning Jade down apparently was enough for Lu to pass another of Nightwolf's tests. They're 2 for 2 on pinning down women and just winning there. So Jade joins the party, and she's helping Lu find the Elder Gods. Kitana in captivity right in Xiao's meeting room where he offed Rin. She wants nothing to do with Xiao, saying he drove her mother to kill herself, and says you might as well kill me now too. Xiao mentions live bait works better. Jax and Sonya arguing because Sonya's not much for explaining shit going on and is short on time. Like I said, he's been dragged into this clearly and he's not happy about it. But Sonya's still on that fear she didn't conquer back in the first movie. She's afraid to trust, so they split up for a bit and we get our mud fight between Sonya and Melina. Sonya wins once again, back dragon tattoo, it turns real and leaves. And Jax saves Sonya from a horrible giant CGI monster from out of nowhere with his metal arms. Cloudy with a chance of more raiding ninjas. Sonya and Jax say time to bail. Raiden must speak with the Elder Gods. Is this the first instance of that trope? Speaking of trope, Raiden gets to ask questions 3. Question the first. He asks, why? Gods are all... Basically, we don't micromanage. Humans have their own fates. Yeah, that's vague and stupid. Second question is, so you'll just stand by and let this happen to Earth? They say, yeah, you right and believe in Kitana can fix things. Third question, if I reunite her with Sindel, how do I secure that the portals stay closed? They say, if Xiao's beaten, things will be okay. Now the Elder Gods ask, you spend a lot of time with these humans. Do you believe they're worth saving? Enough to remove your immortality? Not sure how we got to that, but yeah, we went from long-haired to now a short-haired bleached blonde Raiden emerging as our heroes meet up at the Temple of the Elder Gods, being chased by Khan's goons. Raiden tries to snap our party together from their infighting and even comments that Jax doesn't need his metal arms to fight. Sindel screams and literal pieces of the buildings and caves our heroes are standing on get busted up. So they're forced to retreat while Raiden's powers start to wane a bit, but manages enough power to get a portal to Outworld open. Khan saying, they've taken the bait, and now they're right in our trap. Khan believes Sindel will capture the heroes. Sonya on the other side thinking the same thing. We're walking right into their home turf. As the merger gets closer, Outworld already has, the Golden Gate Bridge and some other landmarks. Somehow Liu Kang knows this is Edenia? Maybe Kitana spoke of it off-movie, but yeah, that was out of nowhere. Speaking of out of nowhere, Sindel arrives to just shriek normally and throws her cape off. Just like, ah! Musical sting and then throws the cape off. She blasts Raiden into a temple-ish area where he gets to do flippy shit with 3 reptiles, or I think their name is Zaterans for their race. Wins pretty quick enough. After the fight, we see Sindel's already dealt with off-screen. Jade says she took her by surprise after she blasted Raiden. Khan's just all over the place in this movie. He was in the throne room. Now he's outside somewhere else rallying his army. Liu gets to the dungeon where Kitana's hidden. Someone on Chilin swinging by to slash at Liu shows up, and only now does Kitana say, It's a trap, Lu. Leave. What? It came to get you. Just saying, watch out after the fact would have been dumb on its own, but that dialogue made it even dumber. So now Lu fights a race horde, Tarkatans. They're all dressed like Baraka, so I'm sure he's among that group. He boots them soundly, and quicker than you can say, Liu Kang wins. Flawless victory. Fatality. Shiva shows up after Lu frees Katana. They swing away on a chain as Shiva gives chase and Kich flattens Shiva. So they're all back together. Katana reaches to the boot and Sindel. Fake out. Sindel's still evil. Legend's all bullshit and Jode's evil too. It was all set up to depower Raiden and bring him here to Outworld. That's my assumption because they're all just like, fool you, the portal stay open, and now Sindel does her best Wonder Woman impression, just spins away while Jade just kinda, well, I'm gonna hit that old dusty trail while she does that. You just stand there watching her. Oh, this movie's so stupid. It's entertaining. I'll watch this 10 times over the Chun-Li movie, but this movie. 4% on Rotten Tomatoes is right. So they've all been had. Raiden surmises the gods bullshit him or something, and there's a higher power that Khan's serving. Sonya notices Raiden has that dragon tattoo Cyrax and Melina sported. Raiden says the tattoo is a crest that allows passage between portals to realms, and the ones that flew away were temporary. They didn't share the bloodline. The marking is bestowed by an elder god, Raiden's father being one, and so is Khan. Bum, bum, bum. So yeah, this out of nowhere that they're related. They're brothers. Khan's pissed Sindel and Jade just poosed out when they could have fought. Their argument was they would have died trying. Khan reminds Sindel she's already dead, and then foods Jade to that bad CGI boosty that Jax beat up with his metal arms. Again, bad boss. Khan rallies once again with his remaining forces that he offed two of for Raiden's oncoming force. Cut back to them as Raiden states for one to advance to Elder Godhood, one needs to be tough enough to kill his own brother. Raiden won, but he wouldn't kill, and he can't do so now either, so the others rally up Liu Kang to do it for him. Prepare for final battle! Doesn't work without an echo. Raiden shows up one more time to try and talk his bro and dad out of the merger and gets one-shotted by Khan. Time to throw hands. Jax versus Motaro, Kitana versus Sindel, Sonya versus Ermac, Liu versus Khan. Motaro beating the metal arms off of Jax as Sonya suddenly finds herself in a 2-on-1 against Ermac and now the shadowy noob Cybot, I assume? It's just a shadow. He does like a little hand thingy and then a like shadowy figure like peels off of Ermac and just in like this pool and then it like rises into a person. So it's like, oh, I guess that's Noob Saibot? They never say, but fair to assume. Sonya finally asks for help. Jax gets his confidence back to boot Motaro without the arms and evens the odds. Sonya giving Ermac a break. Kitana and Sindel just kind of spin kick each other until Kitana wins. Now she forces her mom to see Khan fall. And if this movie had jumped the shark already, because, well, we've already kind of seen it has, Liu and Shao Kahn go all dragon to dragon with their animalities for a bit before turning back. CGI battle go. Ooh, something out of Harryhausen for sure. They both fall off their perches, but Liu sees Khan bleed like a mortal. Oh, a downside to this merger. Methinks Dad only did this so... What's that saying? Playing the devil's favorite or something like that? He's only doing this so he alone could rule. Might be using Khan. Oh, so now the Elder Gods show up because Dad's thinking of stepping in. They keep it Kang versus Khan, the theme kicks in, and Khan goes all feral on him. No animality, just... I describe it as just kicking his ass for a little bit and then just kind of curb stomping him for a while. Just... starts making like gorilla noises. Like literally. Why didn't he turn into a giant gorilla? You could have had like You could have had like a Midway callback or a Rampage callback. Lizzie versus George. Can't get over his girl. And then the music, I guess, just kind of kicks back in as Lou gets his W. He wins with a flash kick, of all things. Khan's tattoo leaves him becoming a big flying dragon, and his dad is all boxed up literally and put away, bad CGI styles akin to Superman 2. They're back in the Temple of Light, things unmerged, and Sindel's alive and good now. The other gods bring Raiden back to life, saying, "It is only fitting that Shinnok's son rule as an elder god now." Whoa! The dad was Shinnok all this time. That's a whole kettle of fish. I don't know the timeline much, but this movie and MK4 do release in the same year. Which one's first, chicken or egg? The movie just ends after Raiden says his farewells. Look at this movie now. 4% on Rotten Tomatoes is right, but 97. I'm thinking a year later I saw this as a VCR rental, so teenager me ate this shit up because, hey, this movie was 80-20 fight plot. Matter of fact, tried to math this shit out. 95 minutes of movie, we get the following fights. Shao vs. Raiden, 1. Blue and Katana vs. Smoke with Ninjas, 2. Sub-Zero vs. Scorpion, 3. Sonya and Jax vs. Cyrax with Ninjas, 4. Lou vs. Jade, 5, if you can barely count that. Sonya and Mileena in the Mud for 6. Raiden vs. Reptiles, 7. Lou vs. Tarkatans in 8, and the whole Lou's crew vs. Shao's final battle. Each fight I'd wager average about 2 to 3 minutes, so 9 fights estimated, 18 to 27 minutes of a 95-minute movie. Anyway, to my segments. Best character, Jax for just being Jax. He's no Johnny Cage from the first movie, but I just love the fact that this guy was literally brought into their bullshit by Sonya. Just this badass normal with metal arms that rolls right through sub-boss Motaro, then saves Sonya from her 201 endurance match. Sonya was banging the mark to get him involved. Just need to explain what she was about to get him into. No, not once did he do the gotcha. I was waiting for that just to grab Noob Saibot and just hit him till he didn't need the metal arms for that. He had that in 2, pretty sure. Gotcha. Oh, ooh, ooh, ooh. Worst characters. Man, so many to choose. But most likely Sindel, who did less fighting, I think, in this movie than Katana did in 2. All the villains are snorting bison dollars, though, so they're all hopped up and overacting and chewing scenery. But Sindel, probably the biggest offender. You could argue Shiva is worse off. She doesn't even get to fight, really. She gets lifted by Motaro. Back and forth bickering meeting before Shao arrives. That gets interrupted. Does the same arms out leap at Lou and Katana and then gets squished. She's a goddamn Shokan, but looks very run of the litter in this movie. One could also make the argument all the women in this movie take big L's, even Sonya at the end, but Sonya at least got 3 kills because she took down Ermac, Cyrax, and Mileena. She gets the same number of kills Lou has in this movie, but yeah, Shiva in this movie strikes me as the Scrappy-Doo of Shokan, especially in this movie. I think the new games probably do her justice. She's back for 11. It's one of those, if you're a fan of this character, prepare to be disappointed. Power off is Khan killing off one of his own for not making Cabal and Stryker beg for their lives before killing them. And then makes his new floozy his second in command. Without the hammer and skull motif, he could be just another bad boss trickling down his mistakes and failures on other people when his plan goes to pot. I theorized once that this movie might be saved if they just retcon this Shao Kahn as Reiko from MK4, but Reiko, I found out later, is just this replacement character for Noob Saibot because shadows in 3D, I guess, were trickier to see, so Noob kind of was like left in the game somewhat. Like you could pick him as like a secret character for I don't know if in arcade, I remember the N64 version, he was in that as a secret character. But yeah, I think some stages were just like, they had to change his design to give him like a white cloak over his all black outfit. This is going to be such a cheap answer for Power On, but the soundtrack for this movie. Because it actually made me go out and find this soundtrack on cassette. Yep, cassette. KMFDM, better than the best. Megalomaniacal, hit harder than the rest. This movie tried the Bison thing where the villain just chews the scenery, but all the villains in this movie are doing that, so it's barely tolerable at best and laughable, aka Sindel, at worst. And the tolerable and laughable share in most of the scenes. Like I said, it's a bad movie, but it's an enjoyably bad movie. You saw me laugh like 4 or 5 times instead of just like kind of just like Legend of Chun-Li. Like not even, like seriously not even remembering that movie. Just trying to keep my sanity, just block this boring blob from existing in my memories. If cool animation can help out Street Fighter, let's really fast forward now to 2020 and check out WB's track record of cool DC animated movies and crank the blood and gore and setting to 11. Even with a new main character for once. So join me next time for Mortal Kombat Scorpion's Revenge. Until next time, take care and Gott, web equal kein Engel sein.